And this is probably the first time that I have gone live on YouTube, and it's an Ask Me Anything. Nobody's here. I was kind of testing to see how well it would work. So I'm going to ask my own questions until other people show up. But here are some of them. Well, I'll give you a little background on me because some of you might just be meeting me for the first time. Hi, I'm Jess Todfield. I'm a former TV producer. I was a producer for 13 years on the national level, ABC, NBC, Fox, worked at a number of places. I always enjoyed helping people and shaping what they'd say. And I left in 2007 to run a media training and presentation training firm. And I've been doing that for the last 18 years. And something interesting has happened in the last few years. Actually, I skipped over something. I have 4 books, and I set a Guinness record that I hold since 2009. For what, you ask? For being interviewed the most times in 24 hours. I forget to bring up that I had a Guinness record, and people are entertained by it. So it was doing the most interviews. It was 112 different interviews. It was just before Zoom and all the live stuff. So I did it on radio. And we did it through, over the phone, and it was a whole lot of fun. People always ask me to help them get a whole lot of visibility and publicity and social proof. And while I set up a program to help people get guaranteed publicity, you'll have to DM me to find out about that. I ended up doing something different in the last year or so, which is something interesting has been brewing. Something has really changed, and it has to do with podcasting. So what is different? So podcasts, it's called podcast because the iPod in about 2005, I think it was 2005 when they came out with the video iPod, came up with these podcasts where you could record something and upload it, and not many people were using it. Oh, I should have done it back then. But it's grown and grown and grown, and there's an interesting thing that's happening now in 2025. I almost didn't remember what year it was. And what's happening is traditional media is shrinking. They're laying people off. Their traditional media is getting rid of a lot of their hosts and their shows, and you've seen some of that, many of you. This is an Ask Me Anything. Oh, hello, Spencer. Hello, where are you right now? New York. It's a genuine fake backdrop of New York City behind me, but I'm in New York. And so traditional media is shrinking, and what is happening? All of those people from traditional media are going and they're starting their own program. They're owning their own show. It's called a podcast now, but you're owning your own platform, and it's a land grab moment. Hello to people showing up. Leon says, me too, I'm in New York. Aditya, so nice to see you guys. And it's so nice to see people here. Okay, so it's a land grab moment for having your own platform. So the traditional media people are, you see them, CNN's laying people off. Don Lemon went over briefly to Twitter, X, where you have Tucker Carlson over there, and you have lots of other people. And you have the Joe Rogans of the world, who for years was trying to say, how do we turn this into a thing? And he's making hundreds of millions of dollars. He does a podcast that is 3 hours long. Good news for the rest of us. You don't have to do it. I mean, you don't have to do a 3-hour podcast. You can do something short. So we've been producing podcasts for our clients. And as I decided to practice what I preach, and by the way, Firehound says, what's the best tip to get a girlfriend? Ask. It's just like in business. You have to ask. You have to use your words. And if you ask enough people, somebody will say, I'll go out with you. Sure, why not? Boom. Problem solved. But nice to meet you, Firehound. So you don't have to do a 3-hour podcast. I've been sort of supporting our clients in their podcasts, and I decided, you know what, I got to practice what I preach, and I have to go do my podcast. So I finally released a podcast I had been talking about for a while, and that is the Game Changers podcast. But here's what I learned. I'm not patting myself on the back or trying to promote my own thing, which, by the way, since I should promote it, I'll just say Game Changers. If you search the various sites, actually, if you just go to meetthegamechangers.com, you can find out about it. Okay. So what did I learn? I learned that by just putting it out, by having the full version, by slicing and dicing and having those shorts, so many people started talking to me that are in my social circles or people who I don't know. Oh, hey, Jess, what's this about? And this is the part that surprised me. People started pitching me, I want to be in your show. Or I had PR people, publicists, public relations, saying, hey, you know who could be good for your show? My client. And I was thinking that would be pretty good. So I've done some of it in person and some of it virtually as well. Super easy. We have all the tools and we have a whole team that makes it all come together nicely. All right. So what should you do in 2025? You should consider owning your own platform. You should own it. A podcast is the perfect way to do it. Why? Because if you do the long form content, it can become all the short form pieces. And all the social media networks are prioritizing the shorts or reels, depending where you go. And you know, when you're in that feed, it shows up on there. And you start to say, oh, maybe I'll check that out and see what that person's thing is all about. So if you have a business, and we're working with doctors, lawyers, financial advisors, and nonprofits, those are our core groups, then you should consider doing it. Reach out to me. I'll give you some free materials on how to get started or what you should be thinking about to get started. And I'm about to announce, I haven't said it out loud anywhere, that we have the Ultimate Podcast Host Playbook. It's an online course, but I'm going to be talking, giving away as much as I can. So for people who are tuning in, put a question in here and I'll give you some of the answers. I don't really have to flick away those little notifications that are on there, but it's messing me up. But one of the questions, how do I get started? Make a decision, do something. Now, you should think about what the outcome is. What do you want to make happen? And for many people, it's more business or more people getting involved. For the nonprofits we help, it's about getting people to donate and get involved in some way. Just like Firehound, who was here before, who said, who asked, I'm guessing a jokey question, but said, what's the best tip to get a girlfriend? But just like that, ask. You have to have a call to action. You have to let people know what to do. Here's a call to action. I'll put it in here as I close this out for today. Send me a message, a DM on something that would support you in this effort. Not girlfriend related. I've been married for 25 years, so I'm not going to be the best person. But I said ask. That was what I said to Firehound. And send me a DM, a message on the one question that would support you in getting more visibility, more authority, more social proof. Send me a DM and I will send something to you. I have lots of free content, and I might even let the first few people here be people who test out the new online course called the Ultimate Podcast Host Playbook. We're going to be selling it for a lot, but I might give the first 10 people who reach out to me access to it in exchange for an honest review. Not a special review or a 5-star review, a 10-star review. No, an honest review of just, what do you think? Is this helpful? And that would be a nice thing. And of course, I want you to start your podcast. So that's it for today. Thank you for people who are even just joining in. You showed up at the end. And I look forward to supporting all of you in the future. All right, with that, I will awkwardly try to push the button to turn this thing off. All right, there it is. I see it. All right, peace.